here in my garage, my little dungeon gym, and I do my workout in the morning. And I am here to do live Q&A for you. So there's really three things, or shall I say, there's three reasons why you may show up. I do this daily, Monday through Friday. Shall I say weekdays, Monday through Friday, about 6:30 to 7:30 or 6:30 to 8 in the morning Pacific time, something like that, where I just do my workout and answer some Q&As here in my garage gym. The three reasons maybe why you might show up to this. One is that you're looking for some accountability and just somebody to have camaraderie with and maybe get you up to get moving and do some working out or some exercising in the morning. So you're welcome to exercise with me. Uh, I would love to be motivation to somebody to get themselves in better shape and that. So that's one reason that you may be able to, that you may want to join. Second reason you may want to join is to talk about finances. Talk about finances. We're going to talk about cash flow. We're going to talk about crypto. We're going to talk about stock investing. We're going to talk about passive cash flow, real estate related endeavors, and those kinds of things. So if you come on here and you want to have your questions answered when it comes to finances, investing, real estate investing, and those kinds of things, I want to be here to jab it up with you when it comes to finances, passive cash flow, and financial freedom. The third reason that you might want to show up to this is to talk about health, right? So fitness and physical and fitness. So if anything about health, anything about exercise, anything about diet, losing weight, being in better shape, or gaining more energy. So one of those three reasons, you either want somebody to work out with and you want somebody to hold you accountable and wake up with you every morning and work out with you. That's fine. I can be that person for you. Secondly is financial questions about investing. And thirdly is to talk about health, because I believe health and wealth go together. So I'm Patrick Franz, and I do this live from my little dungeon garage gym every day, 6:30 to 8 a.m. And we can work out together. We can talk finances, but it's designed to be a live Q&A. Okay. Designed to be a live Q&A. So if you're just coming on, it's all about, talking back and forth and asking questions about fitness or finance. And that's what we want to do on these morning lives. Talk about fitness or finance. So if you have questions, put them in the chat. And that way we can address them. Mine, by the way, because it's a workout and because it's a workout Q&A, just letting you know, we're doing leg day today. So it's definitely not my favorite day in the gym, but we got to do legs. So today we're going to do some legs. We're going to do some squats, some leg extensions, some leg curls, and these kinds of things. Well, it'll actually give me a little bit better attention on the camera. Usually if you're laying down doing bench presses and those things, it's tough to look at the camera and do the Q&A. So if you're on here live and you have some questions about fitness or finance, you let me know. And in the meantime, we are going to set it up to do some squats here today. Hopefully everybody's going great today. Hopefully you're having a good day. If you're just jumping on, it's Fitness and Finance with Patrick, designed for Q&A. So put your questions in the chat. Nice CLS says, Maxime J. Vaughn. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, it's an oldie but a goodie. I've had her for a while, but I've always liked that body style. Before they started putting, bubbly wheel fenders and all the round bubbly stuff on it. I like that. It looks like a bullet, So I've always liked that. It was funny in San Diego, a lot of NFL football players, for some reason. NFL football players, they're fast, right? But NFL football players and stuff like that used to drive that car. Right? I used to be all jealous of the rich guys that had that car. But it's fun to drive, I'll tell you that. It's quick and it's nimble and gets me around town. Unlike the Suburban we have, right, for the big old family. So we got the big Suburban in the driveway, and that's what I'd like to have the wife and kids in because it's very safe. But I zip around town in that thing. Gets me to the golf courses and where I need to go in the stores and that. But we're going to do leg day today. Leg day sucks, okay? Not going to lie, but you got to do it. So we're going to do some leg day today, and it'll give me a chance to actually pay attention to the comments a little bit more. So good Q&A session today anyways. But fitness and finance. So if you're talking investments, passive cash flow, how to set yourself financially free, if you guys want to talk retirement account, trusts, things like that revolve around finances, I love to answer those questions for people. And then, of course, fitness, man. Let's get ourselves in shape. Let's be in the best shape we can possibly be in, even if we're over 40 years old. You can do it. So that's my goal, is getting in better shape than maybe I was when I was in my 20s, even though I'm 46 now, which is old for me. If you're older than 46, I mean, no offense, 46 is old for me. I never thought I'd be 46. You ever had that kind of feeling? Like, when I was younger, I thought, man, 46 years old people are geezers, man. Now I'm 46 and I certainly don't feel it. So, but we're gonna do some legs today. So we're gonna start off with some simple squats and 3 knee surgeries on the right knee, and it clicks when I walk up and down stairs. So you might wonder why I don't like leg. It's tough for me to do because of injury. That's okay. We got to work through it. You get injuries and things like that. It happens. And my knee is all messed up, but it's all right. It doesn't mean we can't work through it. Let's see. Looking good for 46, man. I appreciate that. Hey, that's karma. Wow. Hey, guys, I appreciate those compliments, man. No, I wasn't in good shape about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Trust me. I was going down the wrong paths, man. I was drinking the beers. Patrick, good name, by the way. I like Patrick. You're 53. Well, I was drinking the beers and eating bad foods and not getting good sleep and not exercising and those kinds of things. And I was looking pretty bad, man, actually. So I turned it around about a year and a half, a little bit more than a year and a half ago. I decided to stop drinking alcohol. I decided to start eating healthier foods, cleaner waters, and getting the proper amount of calories and macros. Watching what I eat throughout the day and being more purposeful about that. And then working out Monday through Friday in the mornings right here in this little dungeon gym. And you'll see behind me, guys, it's not much. I have this Makolo rack on the wall that has all the pulley machines and things like that. You can put squat racks, bench racks, and things like that on it, but it's very small. I mean, I can touch both sides of it, right? So it's very small and bolts to the wall, and you can actually fold it against the wall, which I don't do because it's in the garage, but you can fold it against the wall when you're not using it. It becomes very small. So I have the Makolo rack, and I've got just 2 little benches and some dumbbells and some plates and things like that. So I don't have much in here, but certainly it is enough for somebody who does not like to go to the gym and who has family and a morning routine and a busy life and those kinds of things, that I just get down in the garage and just knock it out, right? And I don't have to drive to the gym and do all this stuff. So it's not small, you're just huge. That's hilarious. Definitely not huge, brother. Definitely not huge. Let's see if this thing will work again. No, it is a small space, so you don't need a lot of space, honestly. You just don't need a lot of space to get average workouts in. Make yourself look better, feel better, energy. Now, remember, guys, I'm in the financial markets. I'm a fund manager and a professional investor by trade. And so, this working out is just for me to get better and feel healthier. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be a ripped fitness influencer or sell anybody anything on this show, or I don't have my fancy creatine or protein powders to sell you or anything like that. That's not the game, guys. I'm more into financial than I am into fitness. But since I work out every morning in this garage, I figured instead of watching other people's content and studying YouTube videos, I would get on here and give some helpful nuggets and put some content out myself rather than just absorb everybody else's content. So that's what I'm doing this for. And it's open Q&A on fitness and finance. And so Maxim says, has your relationship with your wife gotten better when you quit all the poisons? No disrespect, real question. I struggle with some addictions and it affects my relationships really badly. Absolutely, man. We become a different person when we're drunk off alcohol. We become a different person. I call it being possessed by a demon because alcohol is known for that. That's why they call it spirits. That's why they call them spirits. But yeah, dude, alcohol's no good for you, right? It definitely turns you into a different person, and it's bad internally, people don't even think about that because it's such a widespread pushed drug, right? It's the number one drug. Don't think alcohol's not a drug. Alcohol's a drug, just like marijuana, crystal meth, heroin. Alcohol's a drug. And yeah, alcohol's a drug because you don't turn violent. You understand that? You get possessed by a violent spirit. So I am just not into it anymore, man. Trust me, I have medals and trophies and championship belts, right, from drinking. I was the drinking champion for a long time. But health-wise, and come here. I don't know why my camera sucks today. Follow me. Maybe I got to put it over here. But, it's bad news all the way around alcohol, okay? And I was a big drinker. So don't get me wrong. I'm not like holier than thou and, ooh, alcohol's bad. You shouldn't drink it and all that stuff. I'm not that guy. But listen, let me just tell you something. There's nothing good that comes from alcohol. Try that one. There ain't nothing good that comes from alcohol whatsoever. You say, yeah, I act more fun, or, I act more fun, or it loosens me up and all this other stuff. You don't need that shit. You definitely don't need that shit. All right. Alcohol is poison, and it creates violence. It creates arguments. It creates unhappiness. It creates depression. It creates lack of energy. And it just, I was sick of it messing up my next day. It's crazy. I like being buzzed, right? Who doesn't? It's a drug. It's supposed to give you endorphins and make you feel good. So yeah, when you're all drunk, man, it's fun. Trust me. But the fun of being buzzed does not outweigh the issues that happen from drinking. So, you should pick your battles, man. But the health and stuff was not doing good for me, right? First of all, I hate having a beer belly. It looks like shit. I hate looking like a frumpy egg. And that's how you look, man, when you're drinking too much. Your muscles go away. Your belly gets a lot bigger. You definitely don't look like a stud muffin. Talking about dudes here. But alcohol doesn't help anything, you guys. So I had to give it up. Now, again, I'm not a priest or a nun or anything like that. I'm not saying I'm a Mr. Perfect, because I will every now and again purposefully get into some alcohol, and not to get drunk anymore. I just don't. But I'll have, like the other day, I had a glass of wine with dinner, and I'll do that maybe once a month now. But I just don't have a need for alcohol to be in my life anymore. It's just not good, guys. Alcohol will help to ruin your life, won't help to better your life. If alcohol was good, if alcohol was really, really good, the government wouldn't let us have it. Yeah, the hangovers were terrible, right, Dark Horse? Puffy face, swollenness. This is all the stuff that you guys can feel and see. What you don't feel and see is the other stuff that's going on inside your body. It's very damaging. Very damaging, but I suppose I'll get off my soapbox. Get off my soapbox about the alcohol, but you definitely don't need alcohol in your life. If you're somebody that struggles with it, maybe I can help you with that, because it's definitely not a good thing for you. Alcohol is not your buddy. May seem like it. Always there for you when you need him, right? That alcohol, but doesn't have your best intentions in mind. Trust me. The violence, the stupidity, the laziness, the lack of energy, and it doesn't help you build muscles. I'll tell you that. Oh, sorry. And sorry, Maxim, dude, I got on the alcohol kick, but Maxim's saying he really wants to ask me, since I'm in finance, how would I invest $50K? Well, first, let me preface with, I don't give investment advice, and I never want to tell another man what they should invest their money into. Let's get that straight first. But I can give you an idea of what it is I do. And you can go do your research and figure out if what I do is the right fit for you, or if something else is better for you. Okay, so investing is very individual. And if you're not an experienced investor and you don't have a lot of knowledge about it, then before making an investment of any type, I would seek some sort of legal counsel, right, from a financial advisor or somebody that's legally there to give you sound investment advice. Okay, so I'm just a professional investor myself, and I run a $250 million investment fund that route. So don't want to tell you what to invest your money in, but there's two ways to think of investing in my mind. If you want to make it black and white, which it's not, but if you want to make it black and white, for easy conversation, we can do that. One direction to invest your money would be into a more riskier endeavor. So you're able to accept more risk, okay? And you're looking for much more reward, because you got to look at the risk reward scenario in investing as being a fairly good staple. I mean, the more risk we take on, the more willing we are to lose all or some of that money, the more returns we can make. Now I say we can make. It doesn't always work out, and people do lose money. So be wary about risk reward ratio, and how old you are, if you have family, what your bills look like, how much income you make, and all of that depends on what you would do with that $50,000. Obviously, somebody who's broke and doesn't have a job would not be able to invest all that $50,000, and certainly wouldn't want to put it into something risky, right? They need it to survive off of. So it depends on what your take is on risk reward. But one way to do something that's not very risky, and I specialize in this, and I really, really like it, and it helps set me financially free, is buying a mortgage note. If you bought a $50,000 mortgage note, you probably get, come here, camera. This thing stinks today. Jeez, won't even follow me. When you buy a mortgage note, it's passive because people tend to pay their mortgage. And if you don't know what a mortgage note is, don't let me confuse you. But rather than buy a house, you buy the debt on the house. So you become the bank. So it's very passive and it's really secure. So if you're risk averse, you want your money protected and you want to have monthly cash flow to live off of, monthly cash flow to better your lifestyle and those kinds of things, I'd buy a note. You could buy a $50K note at a 12% yield and start collecting somewhere around like $550 to $600 a month, say for 20 years or something like that, right? So I like to buy notes. It's the debt attached to real estate. So you buy mortgage notes rather than buy a property. Reason is, when we buy a property, we put a renter in there and we're acting as a landlord and we have all these liabilities. When you're the bank and you own the mortgage, then there's a homeowner living there paying you their mortgage payment every month. So it's different than landlording. But if you get onto that, you have safety, you have security, you have real estate as collateral, and you collect monthly cash flow. And the monthly cash flow, one of the keys, guys, to being an investor, and it's movement of money. They call it cash flow, right? So when your cash isn't flowing and it's sitting stagnant, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Money in motion is the best way to make money. So if I had 50 grand, I'd put the 50 grand into a mortgage note because it secures my principal. It's protected by real estate. It spits off monthly cash flow, and it gives me a better than average yield when talking about average yields we get in the S&P 500 or the stock market. So I get a better than average yield, yearly return on my money. I get monthly cash flow, and I have something secured by real estate, which has potential upside. So that's why I like to put the 50K in a mortgage note. And here's why I would have money in motion. If you don't need all of the cash flow monthly that gets spit off of that investment that you would buy, the mortgage note, right? If I buy the note and I'm collecting a mortgage payment every single month and I don't need that money to live off of, then I can take the cash flow that's coming from the monthly payment on the mortgage note, and I can take that monthly payment coming from the mortgage note and I can invest that monthly payment into investment number 2, which I may recommend something in the cryptocurrency world that'll be a part of the new banking infrastructure, because you can DCA, which is called dollar cost average. It means I can take my money that I'm getting from my other investment every month and I can start putting that into investments that are deflationary with a fixed supply versus inflationary with an unlimited supply, like our dollar. How do you buy a mortgage note? Any note that is paying 12% is risky AF. Why would you recommend a beginner start there? Because it's not, and you don't know what you're talking about. Kung Fu Chicken. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not in the note business, so you don't know what you're talking about. I understand why you would think something at a 12% is risky, but you're not in the game. You don't know what you're talking about. First of all, we buy mortgage debt at a discount, dude. So somebody could be paying an 8% interest rate, and I bought that debt for less, and so I end up with a 12% yield, okay? Things are risky when you don't study them and you don't know what you're talking about, for sure. But if you do study them and you know what you're talking about, you can really eliminate a lot of risk. You can buy mortgage notes online even today. There's Paper Stack and other online places where you can buy a mortgage note. But Paper Stack, spelled with a C at the end, by the way. Paperstac. You're talking about mortgage-backed securities. I guess, yes. Talking about a mortgage-backed promissory note. Yes, owning one person's mortgage. Securities where they couple mortgages into a fund or a pool. Yes, I'm in real estate. You're buying at a discount because it's risky. Wrong. You're buying at a discount because of the two rules of the time value of money. I'm buying a future promised payment stream. So I'm promised to get paid back incrementally and monthly over a long period of time, while in turn the note seller is getting cash today in hand of today's cash value. So if you understand the two rules of time value of money, number one is shit gets more expensive because there's inflation, number one. Number two, you have interest earning capability of a dollar bill. So if you give me a dollar today and I can put it to work at 10%, then that means at the end of this year, I'm going to have $1.10. If you don't give me that money until next year, I've lost one whole year of my interest earning capabilities. So the time value of money has something to do with this. I'm not buying a physical piece of real estate. I'm buying a future promised payment stream. And that's why notes are sold at a discount. Now, the discounts get deeper the riskier the purchase gets, so you do have some validity to what you're saying, brother. You do have some. I buy non-performing notes where they're a year behind in their mortgage, just haven't been foreclosed on yet. I get those at a big discount, certainly. So the riskier the investment gets, the more discount and higher yield I want to make on my money, of course. But even a performing note, they're paying their mortgage on time every month, living their hunky-dory. I can buy a performing note. I'm not paying full dollar for that debt. Why would I give somebody cash in today's cash value to purchase a future promised payment stream where I'm going to collect these payments years from now when it's not worth the same amount of money? Don't you understand? With inflation, money gets worth less over time. So that's you're smart and you understand real estate. You don't understand the secondary note buying business, though. That's for sure. They're sold at a discount all the time. I mean, I do know what I'm talking about. I've been a full-time mortgage note investor since 2018. Let's see. Kung Fu, I understand. TVM. I'm telling you that institutional investors would buy this shit up with a heartbeat if you could get a 12% return. Bro, I churned my portfolio the last 4 years at 18% per year. And I pay my investors 10%. I pay my investors in my fund 10%. I pay cash flow quarterly, and in 4.5 years, I haven't missed a cash flow payment. So hold on a second. If my investors are making 10%, you're telling me I'm not buying assets that pay me 12 or more? You just don't know what you don't know, brother. No, absolutely not. Yeah, good call on that, Maxim. Not a show for you. If you have questions about fitness or finance, I'm here to answer them. Any other questions of that sort can go to somebody else's channel. Bye. Bye. So funny too on this Q&A with my workout. I always get to Q&A and I never get to working out. So at least let me get another set of squats in here while I chat with you guys. If you're just coming on, it's Fitness and Finance with Patrick, live Q&A. I run an investment fund and been a professional investor since 2018, full-time. So I'm here to answer questions about fitness and or finance, guys. If you have questions about becoming healthier, working out, better diet, how to lose weight, look better, those kinds of things, great. And if you have questions about cash flow and finances, talk to me. We're just talking about somebody who is challenging me in the right way. I like these challenges, guys, because most people don't know what it is that I do. Most people don't know that it even exists, okay? Let alone how to master it. So it is true that I get, I'm getting yields right now at 15% on brand new, freshly Dodd-Frank underwritten mobile home notes from a company in Arizona. So anyway, this spawned because somebody said, what would I do if I had $50,000 to invest, guys? And I said, that's all depends on someone's risk tolerance and where they are in life and things like that. Do you want to try to double or triple that $50,000 as quickly as possible, but you're also willing to accidentally lose that money in the pursuit of that? Or are you looking to secure principal, keep your money, get your money working for you at a great yield, maybe with some monthly cash flow that can be compoundable? Then that's a different story. So what I recommend, the way I do it, what I recommend is getting a mortgage note, collecting the passive cash flow monthly from that mortgage note, and taking that money each month and investing that into a secondary investment so that your money's working in two different places. And I like to DCA into XRP, Bitcoin, and things like that on the more speculative and risky side. But I'm not very much a speculative or risky investor, guys. Financial freedom doesn't come from taking huge risks and, being the itsy bitsy spider with your portfolio. If I can constantly get my portfolio moving up in a good positive direction without losing money, that's good. I'm not making these, 1000x returns that people do in the cryptocurrency markets and things like that, but most get wiped out. So I have steady income. It allows me to live the lifestyle I want. And it comes from assets that are secured by real estate. They have upside. They spit off monthly cash flow. So I like those. I like safer stuff, guys, that spits off cash flow. See, cash flow is king. Cash is not king. Cash is garbage, guys. Cash is trash, guys. And they're destroying here in the next couple of years, just destroying any last bit of spending power that the United States dollar has, by the way. So if you're saving cash, not a good move. Cash is losing its value. We had this conversation yesterday where you put $100,000 in the bank. You put $100,000 in the bank. You go back 2 years later, and there's still $100,000 in the bank. So you feel as if you've done well, right? I protected that money. I put $100,000 in the bank because I'm scared to invest it. I don't want to lose it, whatever it may be. I don't want to spend it either because I know that's my life savings, whatever it may be. But you say, I got to have a place to put the $100,000. If you put the $100,000 in a savings account, it's an illusion of safety. Okay, it's an illusion of safety. The $100,000 will still be there 2 years from now. So for you, it's like, I put $100,000 in there. 2 years later, there's still $100,000 in there. That might, for some people, be that they did good, right? But there's not $100,000 in there. Yeah, the bank could take that shit away for sure, Maxim. But it's not the same $200,000. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? If you put $100,000 in the bank, 2 years later, the $100,000 still exists in the bank, but 2 years from now, the $100,000 buys less stuff. Shit gets more expensive. Houses, cars, clothes, food, especially while they're turning the printing machine on federally. It devalues the dollar or makes it worth less. Even though a dollar bill is still a dollar bill, if that dollar bill buys less shit, you're losing money. So we don't put cash in a savings account or take some cash and put it in the safe, something like that. Cash is trash, guys, especially the paper fiat currency we're dealing with. Don't you realize? What about precious metals? Have you seen them lately? Precious metals. Have you seen them lately? Dog, come on. Gold and silver and things like this are God's money. So yes, I believe in them. Young people don't like precious metals because they don't fit into the narrative of get rich quick. But they need gold and silver to make stuff, guys. It has a real value to the planet, right? So gold and silver are always going to be fantastic choices for investment, but this is long-term hold and safety money, right? It's not get rich quick stuff. So younger generation doesn't pay attention to it. I wish more people would understand that passive cash flow is what sets people free financially, not big lump sums of money. Somebody said, what was my career before this? I've been a serial entrepreneur for 25 years. And I hate leg day. And I hate leg day. He asked me, what did I do before this career of being an investor? Well, I started out in sales, guys. Sales is a good place to learn a lot of techniques and how to deal with people and close deals and that. But I was in sales. Leg days, max testosterone. I don't take any testosterone. Max, I take no testosterone. No steroids of any type. That's not how I roll. Yeah, well, you can't make anybody your friend, but you can definitely be somebody that could be friendly and find out if people do want to be your friend. Somebody said they're going to make me their friend. You can make me my friend. I'll be friends with a lot of people. Your garage is so well managed. Thank you, dude. I don't think it is. It's a mess, but I appreciate that. You should have seen my father's garage. I guess I inherited that mindset from my father. My father had a real garage with real tools. It was very clean and tidy. No, guys. It's a mess out here, but I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not. Too many people are doing that on social media these days. You're going to get the real Patrick, whether you like it or not. And guys, if you're just coming on, this is a live Q&A for fitness and finance. I always want to be able to answer questions about fitness and finance. Someone was asking me what they should do if they inherited $50,000 to invest. And if you have $50,000 to invest, it depends on your risk tolerance and what you want to do with that money. If somebody said to me, look, I have a need to double that money quickly. I need to turn 50 grand into 100 grand. There's ways to do it logically and ethically. You can do it. But is it going to require much more risk tolerance, much more energy, time, risk tolerance, and headache, nerves and stress? Absolutely. And you may end up losing half of that while you're trying. So anyways, you want to get your money working for you. They call it cash flow for a reason. They don't call it cash sit. They don't call it cash stagnant. What happens to water when it sits stagnant, you guys? What happens to water when it sits stagnant, like in a puddle? Does it evaporate? It does, doesn't it? If water ends up sitting still in a puddle, doesn't have any movement or new water added to it, does it evaporate? I want you guys to think of that analogy. If water sits stagnant in a puddle, it'll evaporate. What if your money sits stagnant in a puddle? Which, if you think about it, that's taking money and going and throwing it in the savings account over at Wells Fargo Bank. In the meantime, Wells Fargo Bank is loaning the shit out of your 50 grand and making end over end bukudo's amount of money in return off of your money. While you're like, well, it's safe, it's sitting there. But it will make some bacteria. Yeah, right. If a puddle sits there, it'll either grow bacteria, okay? It becomes dirty, grows bacteria, and evaporates. Think about that with your money. I'm going to go set my money in a savings account at the bank. There's no motion to it, except for the motion the bank is putting behind it. Why do you think they call it banks, guys? What do river banks do? Do river banks control the flow and direction of water? Why do you think they call them river banks? Why do you think they call it cash flow? Just most people just don't study this and don't understand it. You know what most people understand, unfortunately, is the 40-40 plan. The 40-40 plan says, I'm going to work 40 years of my life for 40 hours per week for 40 years of my life to still not retire with any type of financial freedom. That's what people have bought into. And people have bought into spending all their money and investing what is left over. Don't you realize that's what most people do? You guys can say, hey, oh, I kind of do that too. It's all right. It's just what we've been taught to do. It's no one's fault. We've been taught to be debt consumers, not wealthy investors. Debt consumers is what we've been taught to be. That's a crazy cycle, right? You're getting the knowledge now, Max. That's why you're a guy that's on my damn live watching an idiot stand here in his garage gym talk, because you're getting the knowledge now. That's why I wanted to come here live, guys, to help other people. You have to have your money flowing and working for you. Money's designed to be a tool to work for you. We've been taught the other way around, that money is this mythical thing that's hard to get, and we need to go bust our ass every day for our whole life to get just enough. That's bullshit life. Who wants that life? We just have to break free mentally and understand what money is really. And the crazy thing is, our grandparents and our parents were taught all this first, and then they taught us. That's the problem. It's not their fault either. You realize that our schooling system in the last 100 years has been designed to spit out dummy workers, not smart rich people. Oh, God, I hate squats. I hate squats. Because of red cap? I don't know what red cap is. Tell me what red cap is. Good call. Yeah, somebody put in the chat, they understand the currency thing. If you guys don't understand the devaluation or the loss of spending power in fiat currency, then you got to start there and learn that, right? Do you realize they took the dollar off the gold standard back in the 70s? What does that mean? Anybody answer me in the comments what that means when they took the United States dollar, the paper dollar, the fiat currency we use in the United States dollar fiat currency, they took it off the gold standard. What does that mean? You know that the dollar used to be backed by gold. You used to be able to take, and by the way, good point, guys. If you look at a dollar in your wallet, it says Federal Reserve Note right on it. I keep telling you guys, I'm a note investor. I invest in mortgage-backed promissory notes. The paper dollar in your wallet, if you look at it, it says a Federal Reserve Note right on it. So it means, guys, that it is a note is a promissory. A note is short for promissory note. Do you know what a promissory note is? A promissory note is a written IOU. That's what a promissory note is. It's a written IOU. It's I owe you something of value. So the paper dollar literally says right on it, Federal Reserve Note. It means that that paper dollar is supposed to be backed by something of real value, but it's not. They took it off the gold standard in the 70s, which means it became monopoly money. Real life monopoly money, right? Just colored paper. And so as things get more expensive with inflation, and as they print more monopoly money, it means it devalues the dollar. It has less spending power. And that's going on like crazy, has been. The last administration printed $5 trillion. So you guys, for every new dollar they print and put into circulation, it devalues the dollar that you have in your wallet. I appreciate that. So do I think gold is going to keep going up? Meh, yeah, but I'm not the guy to make price predictions in that. That's not my forte and not my specialty. But do I think gold will keep going up? Listen, precious metals go up in value and get a lot more buyers coming into the marketplace to buy precious metals because it's God's money. And when man's money is dwindling away and losing all of its value, where's a better place to store your wealth? In fiat currency that's losing its spending power day by day by day, or in gold, God's money, that has real intrinsic value to the world and is used in all sorts of different items, such as cell phones and you name it. But yeah, would you rather put your money in something that actually has value or monopoly paper? There you go. That's a good lesson for you there. But that's why you want to have your money in motion. That's why you want to have your money working for you. Think of this. Think of every dollar you get as a little soldier that you're adding to your platoon, okay? Every dollar you get is a little soldier, and the soldier is designed to go out there in the battlefield and trap and bring to you more soldiers. Each dollar is designed to go out and get itself a brother and sister. Lessons from the book Richest Man in Babylon. So for those of you folks, I've had some people on here saying, well, you know what? My parents were broke and I'm broke and I never got any financial intelligence and da-da-da. Well, it's up to you now then. So no excuses. Start studying. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay? That's a cliche of a book. That's a cliche of a book. But read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Great book. Great messages. Great lessons. Also, if you're able to go read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, go also and read Cash Flow Quadrant. Cash Flow Quadrant is also a good book, also by Robert Kiyosaki. Not touting him so much as an individual, even though I like the guy, but two good books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Cash Flow Quadrant. Another book you don't want to miss reading if you're looking for financial intelligence is The Richest Man in Babylon. Okay? Good books, good principles. Understanding wealth building is a system over time. A disciplined system over time builds real wealth. And wealth that can be passed on through generations. The get rich quick stuff and people trying to make a buck, wrong mentality because they don't really know how money works and they usually just want to buy stuff. That makes sense? Put a comment in here, raise a hand, put a number 1 in the comments and it's okay. I'm not blaming anybody for any mentality here. But raise your hand or put a 1 in the comments. If you're somebody that I said, hey, if I gave you $1 million tomorrow, what would you buy? And I said, I give you $1 million tomorrow, what would you buy? If you're going to say a house, a car, anything fancy, a house, a car, toys, Louis Vuitton stuff, whatever it may be, then we don't get it, right? That's why people that win the lottery end up broke again. Can you imagine the world without money and barter? No. No, I can't. A house, because I never want to go homeless again. You don't need to own a home in order to not be homeless. Many wealthy people rent because renting is more freedom than owning. Haven't you ever heard wealthy people say the key to real freedom, the key to real power is to own nothing, but control everything? Have anybody ever heard that? Own nothing, control everything. Lesson of the real wealthy. Okay? A lot of times home ownership is a liability, not an asset. And what we understand is in investing and in doing good things with our money is if our money is put into assets, we're going to do well. If our money is put into liabilities, it's going to be a drag down. Can't take anything when you go, that's for sure. But you can pass things down to future generations properly. So when people talk about building a legacy, what does that mean, you guys? When people talk about legacy, are they talking about themselves? When people talk about legacy, it's like, when I'm gone off this planet, what have I left? That's the legacy. Okay. You prefer CDs and bonds? Well, that's okay. I don't. CDs and bonds are boring. They don't give me as high of a return. They don't spit off monthly cash flow that I can utilize or compound. But that's okay. I like people that are into CDs and bonds because you guys become my clients and I tell you that I can get you 8% guaranteed contractually backed by collateral. So would you rather make 4 or 5% on your money or 8% on your money in the same type of safety position backed by collateral? Will we solve aging in the next 30 years? No. I mean, there's going to be advancements. There's always going to be advancements. Solve aging, though? No. Are you going to solve wear and tear of a car? You realize we're machines, guys. We have moving parts. Everything gets old and worn out. Can we extend life, though? I really do think we can extend life. I think this whole, 75, 85-year-old lifespan is hogwash for sure. Can I do a flip? I sure can. I used to be a really good skateboarder back in the day, but I could still pull off a kickflip, sure. Kickflips aren't hard. What I don't know if I could do anymore would be a 360 flip. It's been a while since I've busted a 360 flip. Kickflips, no problem. Kickflips, heel flips, pressure flips. I used to be able to do all that, no problem. But you know what's crazy, guys? You get older. I'm 46. I used to skateboard almost every day of my life, and I don't even have a skateboard anymore. Well, my daughter that I rode on the bay the other day and almost killed myself. Let's see it, homie. I don't even have a skateboard, brother. If I had a skateboard, I'd bust one out real quick. What are your interests except for fitness and finance? I'm very busy, man. I have a family and 2 kids, 3 different businesses I run. Oh, wow, that's so dope. 123 DSLAS. We'll just call you 123. 123 started a skateboarding YouTube. I guess it's a YouTube channel. He said he started a skateboarding channel at 40 years old. I'm going to take it that it's a YouTube channel. That's so rad, brother. That's so rad. But yeah, I'm into a lot of stuff though, right? I mainly, guys, I'm so busy with family and the 3 businesses that I operate that I don't have a ton of time for a bunch of hobbies. But I lift weights, obviously. I lift weights in the mornings. And I play golf about twice a week. I just played a little executive course yesterday with a buddy of mine because it was his birthday. So I play golf twice a week. I belong to a private country club. So I zip over there and play golf twice a week. I lift weights. And I have all sort of hobbies, guys, but I don't want to bore the hell out of you with this stuff. But lifting weights, playing golf, running 3 businesses, and spending time with my wife and 2 kids. That's what I do. Don't have much time for much else. Hey, but good on you, brother, for starting a skate channel at 40 years old. That's epic. I wonder if you could drop your link. Wonder if you could drop your link in here if you're still on here, 123. Drop your link in here so we can go check out your skate channel, dude. That is awesome. Sorry to ask again, how can we reach out to you? You can reach out to me just by putting a comment on one of these videos and just tell me to reach out to you, brother. I'm going to take these weights off. I'm sick of doing squats now. We're going to sit down and chat with you guys, give you my undivided attention here in just a second, because I'm going to sit down and do some leg extensions on this rickety old leg extension machine. And I'll be able to sit here and chat with you guys a little bit better. Let me get this thing off of here. One of my kids doesn't destroy themselves. But fitness and finance with Patrick, if you're just jumping on, we're doing Q&A about finances, and we're getting some really good questions here. So we're going to address some more of these things. Let me lower this pup. And now we are going to do some leg extensions for these crummy old injured legs that I've got. But I can see you guys a lot better now, so we'll go ahead and put this right here and chat it up. I'm buff as shit. Dude, I wish, bro. I wish, bro. But it's really not about that, guys. I'm not trying to be buff as shit. I'm not going to go do any bodybuilding competitions or anything like that. It's literally, I'm doing this for me, for my health, because I was going down the wrong paths with bad habits, drinking alcohol, no exercise, and it was not working out for me, guys. I've always been an athletic guy growing up, but all throughout my mid-20s and all throughout my 30s, I tried as much as I could to destroy any health I had built or any muscles I had built. I appreciate that, bro. I really do. Someone said I looked natural and jacked. Dude, you don't understand. That's a really great compliment for me, because I looked naturally like shit about a year and a half ago. About a year and a half ago, I looked like shit, guys. I was about 20 pounds heavier than I am now. Certainly couldn't see any jackedness at all. My arms had gone away and were very skinny and non-muscular. And I had a nice beer belly, guys. I starting to look like Humpty Dumpty. It was terrible. And that's what finally got me sick and tired of my habits and prompted some change. So how much do I weigh? Yeah, I'm 100% natural. You can tell because the guys that are actually not natural are really jacked, right? And veiny and all that stuff. But I just don't want to do any supplements, guys. At 46 years old, I think when we sent my blood work in, I had 803 testosterone naturally. So you guys can go look that up if you don't know testosterone levels. But usually guys that are my age get around 200 and stuff like that, and they need some supplement of testosterone that their body's not producing anymore. Thank God that I did my testing and I'm 803 testosterone without any shots or anything like that. So definitely don't need the testosterone shots. And guys, I'm doing this for my health, not artificial because I want to look buff or something like that. It's not ego driven for me. For me, it's in myself and my heart. I knew I was unhealthy. I knew I looked terrible when I took my shirt off at the beach and that just wasn't me in the past. I had grown into those habits. And so I knew that I could switch those habits back up to good habits again, and that would change back to good. It's all about daily habits, man. My daily habit was smoking pot, drinking beer, eating terrible, and staying up late, and those kinds of things. They don't get you nowhere. I got to put some more weight on this thing. Hold on, guys. Be right back. I got to throw a little bit more weight on this thing. We'll put just another 25-pound plate on there. Have a little bit more weight on there. Some natural guys are veiny, but injecting test in your butt is the dumbest shit to do. These guys are dumb, but hey, can't judge. You can judge all you want, dude. I hate when people say, don't judge. Meanwhile, they're judging you. That's all we do is judge. That's what people do. Don't judge. Judge! Yeah, judge. You can say people are unintelligent for certain choices that they're making, and it can be very true. I know I was very unintelligent about the choices I had been making before I decided to change my habits, get my life back on track. Everything is purposeful, guys. One of my old mentors one time said to me, you know, Patrick, people do what they want to do pretty much most of the time. I don't know if you guys understand that statement. I don't think I really did at first, but an old wise man, one of my mentors said, Patrick, people do what they want to do pretty much most of the time. And when you think about that, it's so true that people do what they want to do pretty much most of the time. Think about that. You rarely find yourself doing things that you didn't want to do. So think about that. In being able to change habits, people do what they want to do. Well, do you really want to become financially free? Do you really want to quit your 9-to-5 and fire your boss and become your own boss? Do you really want to stop drinking because you know it's bad for you? Do you really want to start lifting weights and get on a routine to become better and more healthy? Do you really? Well, the thing is, if you really wanted it, it'd be easier for you to do. So people do what they really want to do pretty much most of the time. Think about that statement, guys, and decide what you really want and what you really want for your life and what you really want to be doing. You have the ability to make the changes in your life to be able to do what it is you want to do and to make the changes that you want to make. That is for sure. Some natural guys are veiny. Okay. Say, hi, Wyatt. Thanks for joining. We talk about fitness and finance, and it's Q&A. So I do a little workout in my garage in the mornings and answer questions about fitness and finance because that's what I'm into. I'm into fitness, being the best you can be physically, and also finances, being the wealthiest that you can become. But really, it's not about becoming wealthy. Again, guys, in my opinion, passive cash flow is what sets people financially free. It's not a lump sum of money. How many times have you seen the lottery people on TV? You guys ever watch that I won the state lottery television show where it shows all these regular folks that all of a sudden win like $3.5 million in the state lottery? You ever see those shows? And it shows, they bought this new fancy house with a pool and they got a Rolls Royce car and the wife got herself a Corvette and, they got all this fancy stuff. And if you look statistically at the people that win the lottery like that and are just gifted a whole big lump sum of money without having any financial intelligence, many of them go broke again quickly. You say, wow, Somebody just was gifted $3.2 million. Man, if that happened to me, I'd be set, right? Well, not without financial intelligence and knowing what to do with that money. A lot of these lottery people, they're broke again and filing bankruptcy and broke and selling off their cool house and Rolls Royce they bought and all that because they don't have any financial intelligence, don't really know what to do with money. Again, most people in our society are under this rule, okay? Here's the rule most people play under in our society financially. I'm going to get some money. And boy, I'm going to be happy when I got some because I have a whole bunch of shit I want to go buy. So when I get money and I finally have some money and there's all those things I've been wishing I could go buy, but I didn't have the money for them. As soon as I get the money, well, shit, now I can go buy all that shit. And if I have any money left over, maybe I can be an investor with that. See, so it's just the wrong mentality. It's the wrong teaching. What we should be thinking is if we get any money, we should invest it. And if there's any left after investing, we should then go ahead and spend that. It's just a different way to think. And the more money you invest, the better off your future is going to be. The more money that you spend, the worse off your future is going to be. Straight up. How many people bought a nice car in their past? How many people have bought a nice car in their past? Finally got enough money, man. You're like, dude, I'm going to go get that car. Isn't it wild how cars are only really cool when they're new to you? Isn't that wild? After you've driven a car around for like, say, 6 months or a year, no matter what car it is, you're already used to it. It's lost its new luster. It's lost the new car smell. You've become accustomed to it being your car. It's not special anymore. And I'm talking about whatever the hell car it is you can think of, a Corvette, a Ferrari even. Trust me, they lose their luster. The only people that are the only people that fantasize so much about having a Lamborghini are the people that could never have one and probably won't have one. If you've ever driven in a Lamborghini, they're not even comfortable to drive in. So I'm just trying to give you guys some game here. Invest your money and spend what's left. Don't spend your money and invest what's left. It's backwards. Nah, I still like looking at my car. I'm not saying not, okay? So don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to punk your guys' car purchases and stuff like that. Here's what I'm saying. What if you could still have the car? You guys are missing my point. I'm not saying don't get a nice car. It's not what I'm saying. Because Alexandria Burnett says, nah, dude, I still like looking at my car. She's probably had her car for a while, or his. I'm sorry if it's Alexandria. Hopefully you're a girl, sorry. But Alexandria said, well, I still like looking at my car, and she's probably had it for a long time. So that's awesome, okay? But what if I could have shown you a way to get that car for free? Would you still like looking at it? It's just a different mindset, money-wise. What if I showed you a way? As a matter of fact, guys, I could show you a way where every car for the rest of your life while you're alive, every car you ever get for the rest of your life while you're alive could be free. In fact, it could make you money. That's for a different video. But I'm just saying intelligently about how we use our money, guys. I'm not saying don't buy fancy cars, don't buy fancy clothes, and don't buy cool stuff. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying let your investments and your assets and your passive cash flow that's being spit off of these investments, have that be what pays for your fancies, what pays your car payment, what pays for your vacations, what pays for all of these different things. Let your investments and your cash flow pay for the fancy stuff. Yeah, qualified deductions, right? Yeah, you can certainly write off vehicles over 6,500 pounds. Becomes a write-off. What about silver, brother? Have you seen it? Leo Jacob, have you seen it? What about silver? You tell me. It's fairly obvious. Silver's done pretty good, right? One lesson, guys, about buying in fluctuating markets. Do you realize that when things go up, then people get FOMO? Retail markets get FOMO, fear of missing out. Fuck, I should have bought some silver a year ago. God damn it. Look, it's going up. I better get in there and buy some. Wrong investment strategy, generally, guys. Okay? Look at the way Warren Buffett does it. Warren Buffett's touted as one of the most successful investors ever in history. Warren Buffett buys Good companies, Warren Buffett buys good companies and good assets when they're on sale. Okay? Not when they're the most expensive they've been. So think about that. You're supposed to buy things when there's blood in the streets and when the charts are red and everybody's running for the hills, fearful, running, everything's crashing. Okay? When it's all red is when you buy it all up. When it's all green way up here, it's usually a scary time to buy because as things go up, they come down. As lungs breathe in, they breathe out. As tides go in, they go out. Markets don't just go do, 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 do. It's not how they do, right? You understand markets go up and down on the way to glory. So you just don't want to be caught at the top, buying in with fear of missing out while everything's going haywire, and then all of a sudden it does take a breather. That's when people get destroyed. So you don't want to buy into things with FOMO, fear of missing out. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to have a steady, studied plan, a steady, financial plan that will work in any markets. That's the way wealth is built. FOMO, new acronym. FOMO's not a new acronym. Reese's Puffs, eat them up. Let's go, Wally Puffs, let's go. Of course, I don't eat Reese's Puffs because they're poison. But, well, you're getting a TED Talk for free? Well, listen, man. That's a really cool compliment, but no, you're just getting a talk from somebody that just knows it and doesn't bullshit anymore, guys. I'm 46 years old. I started in sales when I was 15. I started my own company when I was 21. I've just done a lot, you know, guys. And so I definitely appreciate the compliment. I'm not trying to give you a TED Talk here, but enlighten you maybe. Oh, for me it is. It's English is your third language. Damn, that's awesome. Anyone 3537 says English is his or her third language. Third language. That's pretty badass. I speak half Spanish. I speak half Spanish. And of course, fluent in English, which is my original language. But I can get around and do my thing in Spanish. I'm sure people who are native Spanish speakers think I sound like a fool, but I can get my point across in Spanish. I took 4 years of Spanish in high school. But if you don't use it, you lose it. I don't speak Spanish very much, but. It's at $115. You've been buying $115 per ounce in silver is what you're talking about. And you've been buying it. That's cool, man. At least you don't sound like a Michael Bloomberg when he speaks Spanish. I'm not sure I like that Michael Bloomberg gentleman. Sí, pero yo tengo 4 años en español en mi escuela. It's so funny too, man. I'm so glad I just have like this much Spanish. This much Spanish because guess what? I have my daughter in a private Christian school. She's only in 1st grade. And they're already bringing her home little packages of learning Spanish word by word. My wife doesn't know any Spanish, so I was able to help my daughter with her Spanish homework a night or 2 ago. Thank God for that. My Spanish isn't that good, guys. Ooh. All right, sorry about that. I had to open some stuff up. My garage gym's getting mighty hot in here. Whew. So we opened up some the garage doors, get some air in here. Sí, gracias. Para mi complemento en mi español, tengo 4 años de español en mi escuela del honores, clase de honores. So I know a little bit of Spanish, but only enough to get by. Really, I'm not fluent in Spanish whatsoever. And I probably mispronunciate a lot of the words. That's why true Spanish speakers are probably thinking, this guy kind of knows what he's talking about, but he sounds like a goof. Buy land and rent it. Sure you can. Buy land and rent it out. Sure you can. But then you have all the liability of that piece of land and anything that happens on that piece of land because you own it. Someone gets hurt. Someone gets murdered. Someone, who knows what. The land, you own it. Someone can sue you for it and take it from you and all that good stuff. So that's why I don't buy land and own it.
And plus, land is really land is very iffy on what you can and can't do with it. So yeah, you can buy the right piece of land. What I've been doing, guys, is I've been buying land. Getting that land permitted and entitled. It means you got to take it through a bunch of legal process to get approved to build something on the land. Okay, so I've been buying raw land out in Florida in a city called Palm Bay, buying up raw land, getting all the permits and entitlements approved on that land, and then building apartments from the ground up. So right now we're building a 32-unit apartment building and a 48-unit apartment building out there in Palm Bay. So rather, I would take the land and build something of value on it, increasing the value of that land tenfold, and then you can rent out the apartments you built for cash flow, or you can sell it for quite a bit of profit. From raw land to permit to entitlement to building an apartment building really is going to make you some good money. Silver's getting expensive these days. Exactly. So for me, it's tough to buy things when they are deemed expensive. I like to buy things that are up and down and market-driven assets when they're at rock bottom. Airbnbs are cool, man. I know a guy, honestly, what's crazy, Northern, I met a guy here at our Brotherhood meeting. We have a San Diego Brotherhood, a group of guys, business professionals that are in this organization together. It's called the Brotherhood. I was talking to a guy at this Brotherhood meeting like 2 days ago, and he has like, it was ridiculous, man. He has like 220 or more, maybe it was 240, something like that. 240 Airbnbs. I was like, holy moly, man. So needless to say, they're making bank. But you know what? I had this conversation with him about what I do, and he was fascinated about what I do because you know how much work it is to run 220 or 240 Airbnbs? You know how much work that is? And me, I like a passive lifestyle. So when I started telling him that I'm collecting passive cash flow every month from real estate all over the country without owning the real estate, he perked up his ears a little bit. He said, what? And so what's crazy, guys, is you have somebody that's such an experienced real estate investor, crushing it so good that he's got 240 Airbnbs, man. That's killing it. And he had no idea what it is I do. I had to spend 10 minutes explaining it to him so that he could understand. Yeah, well, you know what? He said, damn, this guy doesn't need to get up to go to work ever again if he wanted to. Well, Maxim, that is false. That's what my point I'm trying to get across to people. That's false. When you own that many Airbnbs, even when you have management companies and teams of people helping you manage those properties and all that stuff, you have a full-time job still. You have a full-time job managing all your management people, managing the property managers, managing everything. You still got to be at the helm of your operation. That's a lot of work. When I own mortgage notes, I don't have to do any work because people tend to pay their mortgage payments. People tend to pay their mortgage payments. They don't want to lose their house. People tend to pay their mortgage payments. So when I'm collecting people's mortgage payment, it's very steady. And I don't have any work to do except for make sure and check they paid. That's it. Okay? The work in note investing starts for us when they don't pay. Does that make sense? Because now I have to do a loan modification or deed in lieu of foreclosure or cash for keys offer, or I have to go through a judicial foreclosure and hire a foreclosure attorney and do a foreclosure and all that stuff. Remember, I'm the bank. The house is my collateral. So the only time I really have to do a lot of work is when my asset stops paying. Then I have to get involved. But that's very rare because people tend to pay their mortgage payments, don't you think? One of the bills that people like pay quite often. You would go broke Northern? Maxim, tell me what you mean, man. I don't know what that means. You would go broke Northern. I don't know what you mean. Explain. Explain to me why I would go broke Northern, because I don't know what that means, Maxim. By the way, I live in San Diego, California. Understand this, guys. I live in San Diego, California. I build apartment buildings in Florida, and I own mortgages primarily in the Midwest and Southeast. I don't do shit in California except for live here and enjoy the beautiful weather and being able to golf year round, that kind of thing. Can you help me build muscles? Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I come on here honestly. Madav said, can I help him build muscles? Yeah, man. That's what I'm on here for. This is supposed to be an open Q&A, and it's designed around fitness and finance. But obviously, because of my background and the way I speak, a lot of people talk to me more here about finances, which is totally good because I'm all about financial freedom. I couldn't be sitting here in my garage working out in the morning like this if I didn't have financial freedom. Back in my past, I'd be putting on my suit and tie, getting in the car, and driving through traffic on the way to my sales job. Okay? Yeah, you can come live daily. It's 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I do this 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. It's just live on YouTube, and it's fitness and finance. So yes, to answer your question, I can help you with learning how to gain muscle and lose body fat and how to look better, okay? Get rid of the beer bellies, get rid of the bad habits, get yourself in better shape. Absolutely. I'm not in Strava app. Might have asked, am I in Strava app? No, I'm not. But back to that conversation, guys. I don't invest in CDs or bonds. The return is too low, and they don't spit off monthly cash flow. Monthly cash flow is the king. Yeah, no political. I don't get political on here, Maxim. Who am I voting for this year? What do you mean? What do you mean, who am I voting for? Can't you look at me and understand what kind of a person I am? You don't really need to ask that. Do I invest in crypto? Absolutely, I invest in crypto. In fact, I have amassed a pretty nice looking crypto portfolio since 2021. But it wasn't because I took all of my hard-earned money, okay? I didn't trade time for money and then take some of my paycheck that I worked my ass off to get that money for and put that in crypto, because crypto is very volatile. Crypto is very risky. I have a long-term vision. I'm holding my crypto until 2029 and finding out what kind of moves I'm gonna make in 2029. So I have a long-term vision. I'm not a day trader and all that stuff. I buy and I buy and I accumulate, I buy and I hold. But how do I accumulate and purchase and start stacking up a bag of good cryptocurrency? It's because I use the cash flow that I receive monthly from my other investments. So I never take money and then go put it into something risky. It just doesn't make sense to me, guys. Why gamble? If you want to gamble, listen, go gamble your paycheck and just bet it on red at the casino. You'll either be an idiot really quickly or a fucking hero really quickly. So that's called risk reward. Are you willing to risk all that money on one spin to double it in one spin? Do you understand that? Go gamble if that's what you want to do. I don't gamble with my money, man. I'm smart. I have a system. So the idea is to have cash flow that's being spit off of one investment, meaning I took my money and I invested into something that's solid. The cash flow that's coming from that investment, if I don't need to live off that cash flow, doesn't that mean each month when I get a cash flow payment from investment number one, I can take the cash flow payment that I received from investment number one and then take that cash flow and put it into investment number two, which I do in crypto, okay? Now I've got the same money working in two different places. I've got it working over here in an investment that's spitting off cash flow to me monthly. I'm taking the cash flow that I receive from that asset monthly and I'm putting it over here and dollar cost averaging into my favorite cryptocurrencies. And I've been able to amass a nice bag. Do I pay taxes? Of course. Of course we pay taxes. When you start to get into large real estate developments and you get yourself into real estate related investments and things like that, real estate comes with the best tax write-off capabilities. And so I try to reduce the amount of taxes I pay as much as possible legally. But of course you gotta pay taxes. Ain't gonna get away with that one. Thoughts on the new Trump accounts for his kids under 18? What are your thoughts on the new Trump accounts for kids under 18? It's something that is going to create wealth over time if people are smart with it. Now, let me ask you guys a question. You guys answer me in the comments, okay? Answer me in the comments here with this question. Do you know how much money you would be worth today? Okay? And I don't know how old you are. It's going to be depending on your age. How much money you'd be worth today if your family, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, somebody in your family would have been smart enough to, when you were born, they took $1,000, gifted you the $1,000 as a newborn baby, and invested that $1,000 on your behalf as a newborn baby into something like the S&P 500 or gold, or whatever it may be, okay? It's not trying to time the markets. I'm going to time the markets and I'm going to play and get rich. I'm going to time them, man. No, it's hard to time the markets because you don't know what's in control of the manipulation. But spending a lot of time in the market is what gets people rich, okay? So imagine that if you're like your grandma, grandpa, parents would have put $1,000 into, say, the S&P 500, let's just say, when you were 1 year old. Go back and look and do the math and see how much money you'd be worth right now if grandma, grandpa, mom, or dad would have just put $1,000 into the S&P 500 on your behalf, and you've spent this many years in the market. How much money would you be worth? Figure that out, and you'll be like, holy shit. So do I think any plan of taking young individuals and giving them an investment account that's invested into something that'll grow over the next 40 and 50 years is going to benefit them later in life? Absolutely. I wish my mom, dad, grandma, grandpa would have done something like that for me because I'd be a lot wealthier right now. But they didn't have that type of financial intelligence. My grandparents, my parents were going through the normal system and weren't much of investors. Yeah, so reduce your taxes. Take advantage of the IRS rules. Yeah, the problem with most tax accountants is they study about they study 1/8 of the whole tax code book. There's a book on tax code like this big. The wealthy have intelligent attorneys that study the whole tax code book, and they know the proper way to reduce paying taxes. Wow, that's so cool, man. Keeper of bees. Well, if you're a beekeeper, that's pretty badass too. But keeper of bees said yes. He's been in the market for 40 years. Where'd that comment go? He's been in the market for over 40 years. He agrees with me. Yeah. Had money invested in the stock market for over 40 years. For me, that $1,000 would be $740,000 right now. So guys, understand that, man. Somebody did the math in the comments. It was Florida man. Florida man. Hey, I'm building apartments out there in Florida. Florida man. But Florida man said if his parents would have put $1,000 in when he was just a baby, that $1,000 would be worth $740,000. You guys get it now? Crypto is good. Yes, my dev, crypto is good. Don't you guys realize that the banking system is changing rails? That's all that's happening. It's not the end of the world in this kind of shit. The banking system is old and archaic. You know, it's kind of like we used to send faxes through a fax machine. Remember that? And then, you know, that went away, and now nobody uses a fax anymore. And we've got email and these transmissions that can get things. That's what's happening to the banking system. You shouldn't try to send money to your family overseas and it takes 2 weeks to get there and then cost 20% of the money. It's archaic. So just like on Venmo, where you can send somebody 20 bucks real quick, pow, pow, and it gets into their account in 1 second, that's how banking is going to be. Everything's being digitalized. It's going on the blockchain. Nothing to do to stop it, but we can join it. We can invest in it. We can get rich from it. But the banking system's just going under a change, guys. The old banking system's dead. Which crypto should I buy under $1,000? Guys, I am an advocate of XRP right now. I'm not telling you what to go invest in. Please do your studies and do your own research and due diligence. Don't ever listen to some nitwit on YouTube and then go make an investment because of what somebody like me said. That's not the way to invest, guys. You have to have your own conviction and your own knowledge about the asset class. Otherwise, don't put money into it. Run, okay? Don't do something because a buddy said it's cool. But I like XRP because XRP is going to be very implemental in running the new financial system. So I'm in it, again, for the long run. I'm not looking at price fluctuation and that. I started buying XRP when it was 49 cents per coin. It's $2 today. So have I done pretty good so far? Made 4,000% on my money. Pretty good. Or 4x. You are truthful. We ain't going back to horse and buggy. Look, just like we're not going to go back to horse and buggy, now that we have cars and airplanes and things like that, we ain't going back and digressing to horse and buggy. We're going from a horse and buggy banking system to a modernized banking system, and no, we won't be going back. Everything's getting digitalized. Little Leaf, not your show, brother. Yeah, not 4,400. Little Leaf, it's not your show, bro. Please feel free to exit this show if you are not going to ask questions about fitness or finance. You guys are nuts. What's up, dude? What's your social security number? 624-156873. I don't know what's wrong with these dudes, Maxim. You got a bunch of lamos out here in the world, and you can't prevent them linking up with you on these lives. Eventually, when these lives get bigger and I have more people, I'll need some moderators, but whatever. It's all good. Listen, you guys can say whatever stupid shit you want to say in the comments of somebody else's live. It just kind of shows who you are in reality. Clowns. Yeah, I know. Trevor Brown, 4,000. I misspoke. It's 400%. Chill out, bro. You guys get it. I bought coins at 49 cents and it's worth $2 now. Did I do good? Sure. What celebrity would I convert to Islam? Bro, don't you understand this is about fitness and finance? Now we're talking about religion and Islam. I'm not the guy to talk to about that, bro. It's not my expertise, son. I'm a Christian. Yes, of course. Somebody said in here, anyone 3537, XRP could capture 14% of the payment volume currently handled by Swift. 100%. How long you been on these lives and how long you're on? Guys, I started doing this a week ago. So this is, I think, my 5th or 6th live, but I'm planning to go this whole year. Monday through Friday, weekdays, 6:30 to 8 a.m., which we're about 8 a.m. right now, so it might be time to stop. But I'm going to be here Monday through Friday to answer questions and talk about fitness or finance. We're not here to talk about religion. We're not here to talk about who I would convert. We're not here to talk about who's gay and who's not gay and all that dumb shit. It's not what this is for. Wrong channel. But we can talk about fitness and finance because that's what I'm into. And this is my goddamn live, you nutcases. So we're here to talk about fitness and finance. Fitness and finance. Better shape physically, better shape financially. If you guys get in better shape physically and better shape financially, do you think that your life will be a better life to live? Yes or no? Will I make a Discord server? No. I don't have time to make a Discord server, guys. I'm busy. Whew. Okay, that's enough of that. My legs are now a little burnt. Whew. Whew. Yes, I'm on LinkedIn, guys. I'm on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, TikTok. I don't use social media like I should, so I'm not really prominent out there, but I got all those: LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and all that. At the Patrick Franz. At the Patrick Franz. Yeah, quads are on fire, dude. So that's my handle, at the Patrick Franz. You can find me on social media if you want to check out my other stuff. Should I buy silver or it is too late? What's your investing strategy? You guys can't ask other people questions like this. I want you guys to understand something. Somebody asked me, right? Bougie Fang or Bug Eye Fang. Sorry. Bug Eye Fang said, should he invest in silver or is it too late? What does my opinion count for that? That's a good question to ask yourself. Should you buy silver or it is too late? What do you think? How much have you studied the economy? How much have you studied silver? How much have you studied what's happening with fiat currency in the government right now? How much have you studied it? That would give you your own answers of whether you should buy more silver or not. I think owning silver and gold should be considered a long-term store of value. So don't you understand, guys? So if you're planning on, hey, I'm going to buy some more silver right now and hold on to it for the next 20 years, then it's never the wrong time to buy silver. But if you're trying to make a quick buck or you're thinking, man, is it going to go up another 20% here in the next 2 weeks? And what's going on? No price predictions, man. Things are very much manipulated. Don't you guys get it when you have the biggest governments and BlackRock and the biggest financial institutions in this whole entire world playing in these markets, that they have the ability to manipulate shit? And they know when the timing's going to happen because they're the ones doing the manipulation, whereas we are left holding the bag. We are oftentimes their exit liquidity. But if you're buying precious metals like gold and silver and you're planning on holding them for a really, really long time, maybe forever, and not selling them, passing that to your family, it's never the wrong time to buy that. But again, here's one thing about silver, one thing about gold that I don't like is they don't spit off monthly cash flow. I'm a believer in cash flow is king. I would rather invest my money into some asset that produces cash flow because I can use that cash flow to buy crypto. I can use that cash flow to buy more silver. And have you guys ever heard of gambling with house money? You know what that means at the casino? So when you look at house money, right? It means you've gone into the casino, you've started gambling, and you've won a bunch of money now from the casino. And you take your money you walked in with, and you put that money you walked in with, and you put it back in the wallet or back in the wife's purse, and you say, go away, don't let me use that money. So then I can have fun all day at the casino. No matter what happens, I haven't lost a dime. I've protected my own principal, and now I'm gambling with house money, if that makes sense. So that's what I think is the best way to do riskier investments or speculative investments. I like to use house money. Okay, I've already invested my money into an asset that's spitting me off cash flow. The cash flow I'm getting from that investment, we can call house money. So I then take the house money and I invest and build bags of speculative stuff because it could go down to zero tomorrow and I haven't lost any of my money. I've only lost the casino's money. Yeah, guys, listen, with the negative attitudes and stuff, what's wrong with you people? YouTube is not worthless. This channel is not worthless. And yes, go read a fucking book. But you know, when this type of a YouTube live becomes worthless for you and such is that when you're sitting here watching, not asking any valid questions because you don't really want information from a guy like me, and you're watching this, spending your time here on this live, watching it, not asking any questions, and then actually taking your time to leave a comment, dumbass comments. What does that say about you, man? You don't need to be here then. You could be doing something to, you know, make more money for yourself. You goon. Yeah, Bug Eye Fang, you're new to investing. Listen, you know when the best time to start investing is? Now, yesterday. Money is a tool designed to bring you more money. Money is not a tool designed to go buy stupid shit with. That's just what we've been trained. It's a good brainwashing though, isn't it? I'm gonna do one last set of this until my darn legs burn to death and then I'm gonna cut this off. But yeah, you guys should be on here if you guys want helpful information about fitness and finance. That's what this is for. If we're gonna talk gay, lesbian, politics, who am I voting for next election and all this other stuff, not what I'm here to talk about. But anything fitness or finance. Better shape physically, better shape financially, better life. Trust me, I know. I've been broke as shit and I've been fat and unhealthy as shit all at the same time. And it sucks to be broke and it sucks to be fat and fucking have no energy. And when you're both of those fucking things, that's real tough, ain't it? When you're lazy, unenergetic, fat, unconfident, and broke, it's a fucked up place to be. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. So I'm just here to help people with fitness and finance because if you want to be more fit, more energetic, live a better life, and be better off financially. You're 5'9", 165. I am 5'7". I'm short. I'm 5'7" and I weigh 168 pounds today. That's where I'm at. Give top 3 stocks to watch? I don't know. I don't invest in stocks too much, guys. I know that if I were playing in the stock market right now, which I don't, I'm playing more so in the cryptocurrency market at the moment. But if I played in the stock market, guys, I would be looking for, me personally, I'd be looking to invest in stocks that are going to be important in the new financial system. You guys understand things change in their cycles. You guys remember the dot-com era? The dot-com era was, of course, when the internet and all the dot-coms were coming out like hotcakes. And there's a bubble that burst there, and a lot of the dot-coms went away. A lot of people, a lot of investors lost a lot of money, and then a lot of those still continue to be here today, the Amazons and the Travelocities and that kind of thing. The same thing's happening here. The banking system is changing. So if you can invest in stocks that are going to revolutionize the new banking system, that's where I'd go. It sucks to be obsessed. Obsessed about what? Gorgon Black. Obsessed about what? It doesn't suck to be obsessed. It's a good thing to be obsessed. It just depends on what you're obsessed about. It sucks to be obsessed about doing heroin. If that's your obsession, then that sucks. But it's not, it doesn't suck to be obsessed about being healthy or obsessed about gaining more wealth. That's a good thing to be obsessed about. Is trading worth or and personal brand? Can you tell the difference? I didn't understand that question. When did you find out you were gay? I've always been happy, man. I found out I was gay and happy by, gosh, very young age. I've always been a very happy kid. I'm certain you meant happy when you used the word gay. I don't think you were alluding to homosexuality. And if you were, then you're a fucktard. Anyways, that's just my opinion. So what apps would I recommend to invest in crypto? Man, I just use Coinbase and I try to get my stuff off of the exchanges and onto hard wallets. Maxim's laughing. People hate balanced lives. I don't know. Depends on who you are. Everybody's different, man. You know, everybody does not want to be in shape. Do you know everybody does not want to be wealthy? Do you know everybody does not want to be free? Do you know everybody does not want to be smart? It's the truth. Sibian, why don't you bounce, bro? There's nothing here for you. This is not the place for clowns to come and enjoy being a clown. I'm here to help people. Come on, you idiots. Why are we talking shit about homophobes and homosexual shit? You guys are the ones bringing this up in the comments. How retarded can you possibly be? But I love it. I love haters. You guys don't bother me. It's fucking great. Let me moderate that shit for you next time because it's annoying. Yeah, I know. Guys, here's the thing. It's not annoying to me. I just think you're a fucking idiot. Straight up. Dumb. That's okay. If you want to be an idiot and you want to be dumb, that's cool. You can go do it somewhere else, though, because like was said here, you're taking away from other people that are actually here trying to get value. So stop being a fool. Would you recommend like $200 to start in crypto? Dude, I'd recommend $20 to start in crypto. You have to understand there's something called the learning curve, okay? And you don't really learn shit without doing shit. So I don't know why I'm on a cursing tint today, but guys, start investing even with little tiny bits of money because you're starting to learn the value of investing money versus spending. This is just one of the mental values we have to start to build, which is tough. We've been taught to spend our money and maybe invest if there's anything left. What we need to be taught is to invest our money and spend anything that's left. It's just a different mindset. So if all you got's $20 to invest right now, yes, I say invest. You want to start learning investments. You want to start getting involved in investing mentally. And when you see the fruits of investments, guys, you really start to learn. There's a learning curve, yeah. But you don't really learn by not doing, right? You can study all you want. You can listen to a bunch of nitwits like me on YouTube talk all this shit, and then you can figure it. But you guys, you need to study it and you need to get involved yourself so that you can make your own assumptions based on your own experiences and your own knowledge, right? That's the best way to go when you're really, truly convicted and know what you're doing versus just following. Guys, like I've said in this, how can I start crypto from scratch? Guys, all you got to do is go to Coinbase or go to Robinhood. Coinbase and Robinhood both have apps on your phone. So download Coinbase or download Robinhood and you deposit money from your account, from your bank account. You deposit money into your Robinhood or your cryptocurrency account on Coinbase. And then you can take that money in those apps and purchase whatever crypto you want. I'm heavy on XRP right now. I believe that XRP is going to make a huge breakout and be worth a lot more than $2, which is just $2 right now, guys. I'm not telling you what to go invest in, but do your own research. I'm just telling you what I invest in. So right now I'm dollar cost averaging into XRP every month. And I'll continue to do so. Let me get the slide ins over here. But guys, I hope this helped. And I'll be here Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 a.m. And we're going to be doing a workout. So there's 3 reasons why you might want to come back. If you want to come back, hit the subscribe button so you're part of my channel, and hit the little bell. That little bell, it'll notify you when I come live if this is something that you like. Now, there's only 3 reasons to come back here, okay? Certainly, if you want to talk about gay and lesbian and politics and that shit, don't come back here. There's much better shows for you to go and troll that will actually give you the attention you're really looking for, right? It'll be more fun for you over there. Here, I'll just shut you down. It's boring. So you either come here for 3 different reasons. One is because you just want somebody to work out with in the mornings, and you're not very motivated, and you want to have a reason to get up in the morning and work out. And if I'm your reason for that, I'm helping you, and I would appreciate that. I'm here to help people. So if you want to work out with me in the mornings and just work out alongside me or something like that, then and it's your motivation, great. But the other 2 is this, guys. We're here for physical health, right? So if there's anything about losing weight, getting more physically fit, gaining muscle, and looking better physically, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. I'm here just to help you with that advice because I've gone down that road myself. It's something I know and I can share and I can help people. The other is financial. I've been a professional full-time investor since 2018. Haven't had a regular job or had to go make income trading my time for money since. So I might have something to help you guys with financially. And so I manage a $250 million investment fund. I'm an investor for my own personal portfolio outside of my fund. And I'm building some apartments from the ground up in Florida. So if you guys want advice on either physicality, health, or financial health, right? How to be physically better or financially better. That's what I'm going to be here for. So anyone, thanks for coming again, my little man. I think anyone's like 9 years old or something. Just did his homework and is off to the bus to school. It's awesome, man. But anybody that I can help, that's what it is, man. I'm not here to be something I'm not, and I'm not here to act like something I'm not. I'm only here to stay in my lane and help you guys with what I'm very knowledgeable about, okay? Oh, anyone, you're 19, not 9. 19, my bad. My bad. There's a day or 2 ago, there was like a 9-year-old kid on my live like 2 or 3 days ago because I haven't restricted this for minors or anything. There was a 9-year-old on here, which is funny. 17. Listen, I'm glad if I can inspire young men. I wish somebody would have grabbed me by the fucking neck when I was younger and said, look, man, let me teach you some solid lessons about life, especially financially. But that didn't happen for me. So if I can be here for any of you guys to help out, that's what I'm here for. So Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 a.m., I'll be live. Hit subscribe, hit the bell if you want to come join me. We're going to talk fitness and finance, how to physically become healthier, how to financially become wealthier, right? And live a more free life, less stress, more energy, and you can be a better person for yourself, the people around you, and your family. So it's Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 a.m. I will be here to work out and answer questions for you guys about investments or anything like that. All right. And also for you guys, if you're watching this replay and stuff, it just makes you look stupid to come on someone's live like this and troll when all we're trying to do is have great conversation and help other people. There's going to be a lot better channel for you to go to where you can really get people riled up and get some attention. Okay. But it's never too late and you're never too young to become physically fit and to become financially wealthy. Never too early, never too late. It's just something that you have to create a system for and get started at. You understand? And thank you for the support from India. I work with a team in India that helps me out quite a bit with my CRM and some of my social media, even though I'm not big on social media, but I love my team in India. And my best friend, Encore Patel, is Indian. So respect to India over there too. India is about to blow up, man. You guys over in India are about to blow up. There's a lot of different things happening where people are switching manufacturing and jobs and certain different types of things over to India from other countries. So India's blowing up, dude. Good for you guys. All right, guys. I got to go now get my life together, shower, and get on to my office for my work day. So I'm going to sign off for today, but guys, we'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow the workout is going to go back to chest and shoulders. We're going to do some bench. We're going to do some flies. We're going to do a bunch of different stuff. So if you want to work out with me, tomorrow's upper body, chest day, triceps, shoulders, all that good stuff. We're going to crunch it out. And we're going to answer more of your questions, guys, about fitness or finance. Nothing else, because it's not what you want my advice for, guys. I'm not an expert in a lot of different things, and I don't claim to be. All I do is claim to be an expert with wise investments, wise investment strategy, and getting in better shape and stopping being such a fat, weak person. Okay? So let's do it. Guys, see you on the next video. Ciao. Thanks for coming.